Alright guys, Papa Pepper here. This one's just called The Blessing of Making a Plan Up As You Go, because if you look around me, I mean, here's the mobile home, there's the house site, got some animals on the perimeter over there, some animals over there, putting the root cellar right here, compost, quail are going to be there, rabbits are going to be there, guinea fowl, chickens, and ducks are going to be there. Gonna have some orchard trees here, that type of stuff. Anyway, as I've been working, since I'm living life as I go, things happen. Like for instance, this path I'm walking on, which loops down there and comes around and loops back there. This is going to be a very effective thing for me to incorporate into my landscape and into the way I'm building. How you guys doing? Yeah, chickens. But because there's so many things like dropping off rocks to use for rock landscaping, right? Like dropping off mulch to use for some of those projects, like dropping off things in the garden, dropping off brush to chip or shred, having firewood. There's so many things that come in and out of here that to actually incorporate a drive-through to my garden site, where I've got this wide open section between where I'm putting stuff and where I'm putting stuff, that I can just drive through with a big truck, with a trailer, and bring stuff in, bring stuff out. It's going to work really well. If I wasn't living life and kind of building as I go with this project, I would have never thought about that ahead of time. So now I can keep, these plants over here, water and power right there, other plants right there, and have this nice opportunity, between these two trees to bring stuff in and to take stuff out. And anytime I'm coming past our mobile home to any of these areas, like for instance, at some point, it hasn't happened yet, but I'm going to have my row of poultry stuff here. There's going to be a little outbuilding on the outside of it where we're going to keep their feed. Well, feed comes in 50-pound bags usually. So if I'm coming in with a trailer or a truck with some feed on it, I don't have to drive in and then back up. I can just take a full circle and head right back out the way I came. And with so many other things, that, I wouldn't think of that ahead of time. I didn't. But now that we're living life here and we're getting going, I've thought of it now because it just practically kind of worked itself out as I was living life. Now, if you verse that with taking say an aerial photograph or a topographical photograph of the land and marking out everything where, every fence is a nice straight, rectangle, you've got all these different things, and you put everything in its own section, you may not think of stuff like that. Even as I work on fencing, there's a certain fluidity to it, a certain flow, a certain, hey, I may want to go around this tree. I may either want it inside or outside the fence. A fence doesn't have to be in a straight line to be perfect or to be functional, and that's certainly where we're at with some of these things. So I think that's one of the reasons why you'll see too in kind of some of the permaculture principles is people have recommendations of like living on your land for like a year before you even really do anything with it. So you can watch, where springs may, spring up after big rain. You can watch where the water flows when it comes across. You can observe what is on the land, kind of the different elevations, the different kind of components on the land, the different types of plants and trees and what grows well in what areas. And then you can kind of determine how to incorporate a lot of what the land already has going for it into your homestead, into your life, as you begin to kind of develop and take a certain stewardship over it. We've been here for almost 3 years now, come November. We didn't buy this land until a year ago. I've been on it off and on throughout those 3 years and working on different projects and different things, and this was the goal. And now we don't even live on it. We've been taking it slow. But because I'm also, it's not that I don't have foresight, but it's that I don't need things to be a certain way, that I have a certain amount of freedom to incorporate different aspects into things. And I think this is one situation where you just see, having this nice little teardrop drive-through of this whole area, because one corner of the property is over there. That's the top end of the property. Another corner of the property is over there. So this is, about as far as I need to get out on the property, and actually I'm going to have a driving lane up through the backside of the woods, up to this area, anyway, on the other side of things. But having this is going to work really well. I'm not sure what all your guys' plans are, what all your life is, but if you ever get in a situation like this, where maybe you've got somewhere you're living, And the cool thing too is we're going to be living there. We're going to be harvesting a lot of stuff here. There'll be other places on our property also producing food. But we can grab our garden harvest, go over there to either the kitchen or eventually we'll put an outdoor kitchen, harvest it, process it, take whatever's left over and either put it in the compost on one side or the animals on the other side. And a lot of activity is going to be right in this area, and it's going to work together very well. And being able just to drive in and out of it without having to back up with a trailer, without having to turn around. They're good skills to have, but just the need not to. It's much easier for me to keep this driveway open, this nice little loop all the way around, and it'll save me a lot of time in the end. So something I learned just by living life, by being flexible, by observing what's going on, and by determining how life is going to be lived. And part of doing that is just simply living it. So, all right, hopefully that blesses some of you guys. It was nice to learn myself, and I'm definitely enjoying it. So, Papa out. As always, I'm Papa Pepper, and I'd like to remind you, don't post for free. If you'd like to be part of a revolution in social media, an economic power to the people where users can actually blog for cryptocurrency, then I'd recommend that you check out Steemit.com and join the revolution. Papa out.